You think you know what love is. You have heard it in songs. You have read it on cards. You have said it to people you love. But in the New Testament, there is a Greek word for love appearing more than 300 times that means something almost completely different from what most Christians assume. The word is agape, in Greek agape, and once you understand what it actually meant in the first century and what Jesus and the apostles did with it, you will read the New Testament with completely different eyes. You will read your own life with different eyes too. Because agape is not a feeling. It is not attraction. It is not even what most of us mean when we say I love you. It is something the ancient world barely had a category for until the gospel showed up and gave it one. To understand agape, you have to understand that ancient Greek had 4 different words for love. Each one described a completely different reality. Modern English collapses them all into one tired 4-letter word. The Greeks did not. The first word is eros, romantic love, desire, attraction, the pull between two people that begins in the body and races to the heart. Eros is real. Eros is good in its place. The Bible affirms it in the Song of Solomon. But eros is not how God describes his love for you. The second word is philia, friendship, love, loyalty, the deep affection between people who choose each other over and over again. The bond of David and Jonathan, the love between brothers in arms. Philia is beautiful. But philia is not how God describes his love for the lost world. The third word is storge, family love, the natural, instinctive affection between parents and children, between siblings, between kin. The love a mother has for her newborn the moment she sees its face. Storge is built into us. But storge alone could never describe how God loves a stranger, an enemy, a sinner. And then there is agape, the fourth word. And here is the strange thing. In the centuries before Christ, agape was the rarest of the 4. The classical Greek philosophers barely used it. Aristotle preferred philia. Plato preferred eros. Agape was almost an empty word sitting on the shelf, waiting for something to fill it. Then the gospel arrived, and the New Testament writers reached for that nearly empty word agape, and poured into it something the world had never seen before. They used agape over 300 times. They made it the central word of Christianity. And in doing so, they redefined the very concept of love forever. So what is agape? Let us start by clearing away what it is not. First, agape is not a feeling. Modern people equate love with how they feel about someone. If the feeling fades, they say I don't love them anymore. But agape is not built on feelings. Feelings are weather. Agape is bedrock. Second, agape is not based on whether the other person deserves it. Eros is drawn to beauty. Philia is drawn to compatibility. Storge is drawn to bloodline, but agape sees a person as they are flawed, broken, even hostile, and chooses to love them anyway, not because they earned it, because the lover decides to give it. Third, agape is not conditional. Eros says I love you because you make me feel alive. Philia says I love you because we share so much. Storge says I love you because you are mine. But agape says I love you, period. Even if you walk away, even if you turn against me, even if you give me nothing in return, I will love you. Fourth, agape does not require to be loved back. Eros expects mutual desire. Philia expects mutual loyalty. Storge expects mutual belonging. But agape can love a one-way street. Agape can pour itself out and never ask if anything is coming back. That is its scandal, and that is also its glory. So if agape is not a feeling, not a romance, not based on worth, not conditional, and not dependent on response, what actually is it? Agape is a deliberate, sustained choice to seek the highest good of another person, even at cost to yourself, regardless of how you feel and regardless of whether they deserve it. Notice the word choice. Agape lives in the will, not in the emotions. You do not fall into agape. You decide to walk in agape. You can agape someone you do not even like at the moment, because agape is not measured by your mood. It is measured by your action toward their good. And here is the hard part. Agape always costs something. There is no agape that does not pay for itself out of the lover's resources: time, energy, comfort, money, sometimes blood. If your love costs you nothing, you are not yet doing agape. You are doing convenience. And agape is covenantal. It binds itself with promises. It makes itself accountable. Eros can disappear when the body changes. Philia can fade when shared interests fade. Storge can crack when family dysfunction rises. But agape, by its nature, is the love that says I am still here. I will stay. Now look at John chapter 3, verse 16. Probably the most quoted verse in the Bible. For God so loved the world. The Greek word there, agapao, the verb form of agape. God loved the world like that, with a deliberate, costly, covenantal love that is not based on anything the world deserves. Hear the scandal of that verse. The world God loved was not loving him back. The world was hostile, broken, unfaithful, and rebellious. The world did not deserve to be loved. The world did not even know it needed to be loved. And yet God agaped it, not because it was lovely, because that is what agape does. Paul tightens the same point in Romans chapter 5. But God shows his own love agape for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Read that carefully. He did not love us after we cleaned up. He did not love us after we made the first move. He loved us while we were still in the wrong. That is agape. And what did this agape look like in action? It gave. He gave his only son. Agape never just feels something. Agape moves. Agape does. Agape pays. The Father did not love us in theory, he gave the Son. The Son did not love us in theory, he gave his life. Agape is verb before it is noun. And then there is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the most famous chapter on love in the Bible. Read at every wedding, quoted on greeting cards, embroidered on pillows. But almost nobody realizes that every single time the word love appears in that chapter, it is agape. Paul is dissecting agape line by line. Listen to it again with that in mind. Agape is patient. Agape is kind. Agape does not envy or boast. Agape is not arrogant or rude. Agape does not insist on its own way. Agape is not irritable or resentful. Each line is a portrait of God's own heart toward you. Then Paul keeps going. Agape does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Agape bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. That last line is the pillar. Agape bears, believes, hopes, endures. Even when everything around it is failing, agape stays. And then the conclusion, agape never ends. 3 Greek words, agape autopot ikpite. Agape never falls, never collapses, never gives up, never expires. Other things will pass away, prophecies, knowledge, even faith and hope eventually find their fulfillment. But agape outlasts everything. Agape is eternal because God is eternal and God is agape. And then come the most staggering words in the entire New Testament about love. 1 John chapter 4 verse 8. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is agape. Not God has agape. Not God shows agape. God is agape. It is his essence. It is who he is at the deepest level of his being. Stop and feel the weight of that. If God is agape, then everything he does flows out of agape. His holiness is loving. His justice is loving. His commands are loving. His silence is loving. Even his discipline is loving. There is no part of God that operates outside of agape. He cannot. It is what he is. On the night before his crucifixion, Jesus turned to his disciples and said something they were not expecting. A new command I give you, agape one another. Just as I have agaped you, so you must agape one another. By this everyone will know you are my disciples, if you have agape for one another. Notice the badge Jesus chose. He did not say they will know you are mine by your doctrine. He did not say by your zeal or by your discipline or by your moral standards. He said by your agape for one another. Agape was the public uniform of Christianity from day one. The world recognized Christians by how they loved each other. And in John chapter 15, Jesus defines the upper limit of agape with one of the most quoted lines in Scripture. Greater agape has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. That is the ceiling. That is the full expression. Agape, fully grown, lays itself down for the other. And then Jesus pushes the radius wider than any human teacher had ever dared. Agape your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. Agape your enemies. Not tolerate, not endure, not put up with. Agape, choose their good. Pay for their good if you must. The Greek word is the same word used for the Father's love. Hear how impossible this is on human power alone. None of us can manufacture agape on demand. Not for our enemies. Not for those who hurt us. Not even consistently for those we already care about. Agape is not a moral skill that can be polished. Agape is a fruit, and a fruit grows from a root that is not yourself. That is why 1 John chapter 4 ends with the simplest, most freeing line in the entire Bible on this topic. We love because he first loved us. We agape because he first agaped us. The agape we extend is not generated from inside us. It is overflow. We are pipes, not springs. The spring is God. You can only give the agape you have first received. That is why so many sincere Christians try to love their enemies and give up exhausted. They are trying to pump water out of an empty well. The first work of the Christian life is not to love better, it is to receive his love more deeply. Out of that, agape begins to flow. There is one more passage you have to know to truly understand agape. John chapter 21. After the resurrection, Peter has just denied Jesus 3 times. Jesus appears on the beach. He cooks breakfast for the disciples. And then he turns to Peter with one of the most surgically precise conversations in the entire New Testament. Jesus asks Peter the first time, "Simon, son of John, do you agape me?" He uses the high word, the covenant word, the word that means, do you love me with the all-costing, sacrificial, unbreakable love? Peter answers, "Yes, Lord. You know that I philo you." Peter switches the word. He says, "I love you like a friend, like a brother, not agape." Jesus asks again, "Simon, son of John, do you agape me?" He keeps the high word. He gives Peter a second chance to claim the bigger love. And again, Peter cannot bring himself to say it. He answers, "Yes, Lord. You know that I philo you." Twice now. Peter cannot quite reach the word he just denied with his actions. And then comes the moment that will undo you if you understand it. Jesus asks the third time. But this time, he changes the verb. "Simon, son of John, do you philo me?" Jesus comes down to Peter's word. He meets Peter where Peter actually is. He does not crush him with a standard he cannot reach. He kneels down to receive whatever love Peter can honestly offer. This is the secret of agape. Real agape stoops. Real agape meets you where you are. Real agape does not demand a love from you that you cannot yet give, it gives a love to you that you cannot yet match. And then, slowly, by the power of being so loved, you begin to grow into a love you could never have manufactured on your own. And here is the gospel hidden in the conversation. The God of agape is the God who stoops. He does not stand at the top of the staircase calling for us to climb up to his level. He comes down. He meets us in our denial. He cooks us breakfast on a beach when we have failed him. And he restores us gently back into the ministry we thought we had ruined. That is what agape really is. It is not just an attribute of God. It is a posture of God. The posture of stooping. The posture of giving. The posture of meeting us in our weakness. The posture of paying for our brokenness. The posture of staying when every other love would have walked away. Once you see this, every page of the Bible reads like a love story. And here is something that should comfort you. Every command in the New Testament about how you should love comes after the New Testament has already told you how God has loved you. The order matters. He does not say agape your enemies until he has first told you, "I have agaped you when you were my enemy." Indicative before imperative. Gift before assignment. And here is the strange beauty of agape. It transforms the one who gives it almost as much as it transforms the one who receives it. When you choose to seek the highest good of someone who has wronged you, something inside you shifts. The bitterness loses its grip. The need to be repaid loses its weight. Agape sets you free as it sets them free. Do not pretend, though, that agape is easy. It is not. It is the hardest love in the world. Eros is fueled by chemistry. Philia is fueled by compatibility. Storage is fueled by biology. Agape has nothing to fuel it except the will and the spirit. Agape is the mountain love, the thin air love, the love only learned through walking with God for many years. But it shows up in small places. The patience with the family member who grates on you. The kindness to the stranger who cut in front of you. The forgiveness for the friend who let you down. The prayer for the boss who made your day harder. Most agape is not heroic. Most agape is hidden. Most agape happens in the kitchen, in the office, in the line at the store. Tiny, daily, costly, real. Here is the question worth sitting with. When you say, "I love God," which Greek word are you actually using? Are you saying eros, I am drawn to him because of how he makes me feel? Are you saying philia, I enjoy spending time with him? Or are you slowly learning to say agape, I will choose him no matter what? Even when feelings dry up, even when life gets hard, even when he is silent. And here is the sweeter question, the one that comes underneath. When God says, "I love you," which word does he use? He uses agape. He does not love you because you make him feel something. He does not love you because you and he get along well today. He loves you with the love that does not move. And the moment you really hear that, your whole spiritual life changes. The love that brought the son to a manger. The love that knelt and washed feet. The love that bore a cross. The love that descended into death itself. The love that rose again. The love that breathes spirit into ordinary people. The love that names you and counts you and keeps you. That love does not move. Not for your worst day. Not for your best day. Not for any day. So before you try harder to love God, rest harder in being loved by Him. Before you try to agape your enemy, receive the agape He has poured out on you when you were His. The Christian life does not begin with effort. It begins with rest. Rest in the agape that found you, paid for you, and is keeping you. A note for those carrying old wounds. Agape does not mean the wound did not happen. Agape does not require you to pretend it was okay. Agape is not naive. Agape is the choice, sometimes daily, sometimes hourly, to release the right to repayment, because Christ has released His right to repayment from you. Agape forgives because agape was first forgiven. And one more thing, agape was never meant to be a private spiritual experience. From day one, agape was meant to be visible between believers in a community before the watching world. The church exists, in part, so that the agape of God can show up where humans can actually see it. If your faith is purely private, you have only half of what the New Testament offered you. Picture a single candle being passed quietly from hand to hand around a darkened room. Each person who receives it lights their own wick from it. Nobody loses the flame they hold by sharing it. The room slowly fills with warm light. That is what Christian agape was always meant to be. A flame received, a flame passed, a flame that fills every dark space it touches. Hear 1 Corinthians 13 one more time. Replace the word love with the word that was actually there. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and agape. But the greatest of these is agape. Faith will become sight. Hope will become reality. But agape will go on, and on, and on, forever. So the next time you read the word love in the New Testament, slow down, because almost every time it is agape. The love that chose you before you knew Him. The love that stooped to your level when you could not climb. The love that paid the price you could not pay. The love that will not let you go. That is what God means when He says He loves you. Anything less is too small. If this opened your eyes to a word you had read 1,000 times without truly seeing, subscribe. Because every week we go deeper into the Greek and the Hebrew and the hidden layers of Scripture, the kind of details that change how you read the entire Bible. And if you want to go even deeper, watch this next, because there is a Hebrew word in the Old Testament that explains exactly why God's love is unbreakable. And once you see it, the meaning of agape will land even deeper.